you can see that the popper has a cupped lip. And when you buy this in the store, a lot of people just tie it on, whatever they have. They go out there, they throw it, and they just ploop the bait. I call it plooping it. It just ploop in the water, it comes to you, it dives down and comes back up, makes a big bubble, and that works occasionally. But for me, why I throw this is it's a perfect bait for a soft, subtle presentation. You can cast it under laydowns in shade pockets around the bank. When those fish are up there sunning, but they're sitting right in the corners of those shades, they're eating bluegill, they're eating bugs on top of the water. You can slide this in there real nice and easy. And what I like to do is a slow walking presentation. The bait will sit in the water about like that right there. And what I like to do is just get the bait up and get it walking from side to side, almost like a walk the dog that you would do with a Zara spook style bait. But to me, this has a lot more subtle presentation to that, and it's going to get a lot of those big ones that are sitting up there in that ultra shallow water. To me, it's the ultimate bait for shallow water cover when you want to stay on top.
What time of year are we talking?
For me, it works great in the fall when those fish are feeding on shad, but the best time of the year for me with this is that spawn to post-spawn time. When those fish are up there around the bank, they're getting ready to spawn, they're starting to spawn, and they're finished the spawning process, and they'll hang around those beds, those bluegill beds, things like that. It just gets a lot of bites when those fish are in that shallow water.
Okay, and I guess, is it a time of day thing at all on this kind of bait?
No, time of day doesn't really matter. It does seem like the majority of days, if the sun's shining, it positions those fish better on certain pieces of structure, whether it be shade, whether it be under things, even if there's no shade, just being under those pieces of cover, docks, things like that, on a stump. I think it's all shade related. That's why I think it's better when the sun's shining.
Give me preferred rod, reel, and line for that bait.
Sure. To me, I think you need a 7:3 to 1 gear ratio, so it's not slow, but it's not super fast. It can allow you to have that cadence down correctly when you're wanting to work that bait side to side. I prefer a 6.5 to 7 foot rod. To me, I find that 6.5-ish size is the best for making those good, accurate casts low to the water and up under that cover where you're going to get the most bites.
Okay, how about line?
I think everybody has their own opinion. If I'm fishing around heavy cover, a lot of vegetation, meaning grass in the water, I'm going to use braided line. But most of the time, I'm throwing this around hard cover. So when I'm doing that, I'm going to use 20-pound monofilament. And I think it gives the bait the right action, and it will land a lot of bites.
Anything else we didn't talk about that's important when you're either fishing it or deciding to fish it?
I think if you have fish, the most important thing is if you have fish in that first 2 to 3 feet of the water column and you have structure in your lake. It doesn't have to be laydowns, overhangs, things like that. Boat docks are a great way to catch fish on the popper, but they're going to be in that shallow water. So if your fish are shallow, it's a good time to try the popper.